spin around 360. I look around, my whole world's empty. Gather round, come quickly. I still can't see no one around me. I spin around 360. I look around, my whole world's empty. Gather round, come quickly. In the summertime, I'm cold, standing on my own. I'm screaming down the phone. I'm hearing down and told. Won't you listen?
It might look like a quaint suburban cul-de-sac, but behind me lives one of the UK's hottest drum and bass talents today, and I've been invited for a nose around. This is Blame's producer's house.
Nobody's reaching out, I'm freaking out. I'm speaking out.
Here I am chilling out at Blame's house. Thank you for having me.
No problem, you're welcome.
What's behind the name?
Well, Blame's a name that I've had for years. Ever since school, I was kind of always, even if like someone else had caused some problems, the teacher would always look at me. I'd always be the one to get kicked out. I never didn't do anything wrong, so you know.
I felt a bit sorry for you now, and I thought you were a ghetto music producer, but yeah.
Well, I probably did. There's probably a reason I got involved in.
Kind of goody two shoes, come on.
Not really, but I did get a bit more slack than I. If there was like something gone wrong, I'd be the one finger pointed for it, and even though I was probably just at the back of the crowd, just egging someone on.
Yeah.
So it kind of stuck. Blame from school, and it's just kind of been with me ever since.
Here we are in Blame's studio nonetheless, where the magic happens, drum and bass extraordinaire. And yeah, we've just come in really, just sat down.
That's it.
So say it's like a normal day producing for you, what's the first thing you do?
There's never really a normal way to do it. It's kind of, the main thing is, have you got an idea in your head?
Okay.
And then it's kind of figuring out what bit of gear is going to get you to that. I kind of always love starting things with these kind of keyboards, because these are like my old classic analog vintage synths really, so you always kind of get a real good starting point with those. And for me nowadays, it's all about getting the melody, getting some good kind of harmonies going, and some just kind of building up the mood that way. So I kind of start off generally with things like the Junos, which picked up on eBay.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I used to have them all, sold everything, and now I bought them all again.
You prefer kind of real instruments then to virtual instruments?
I guess I'm 50-50, but I kind of always find the hands-on approach is a lot more fun. Like, you can kind of change all the settings on here instead of dragging it around with a mouse and stuff.
And you've been grinding for a long time, doing drum and bass, really from its humble beginnings. How did you get to this point?
Just because I can't stop making music.
Yeah.
It's kind of something that I can't imagine what I would do if I wasn't making music. So just constant work, always, as soon as a track's out, you never sit there and kind of think, oh, that's it, everything's complete, I can stop now. You're working on the next track, you're getting more stuff happening. This is a Triton, this is kind of very popular in hip-hop production and stuff, and that's kind of got a lot of bread and butter sounds, I guess, like your pianos and strings and trumpets and all different kind of real sounds, I guess. And then this is another analog synth. I just keep buying more synths, I can't stop myself.
Yeah, you love them.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to cut down soon because I haven't got enough room, or get a bigger studio. Seeing how everyone was piecing music together, and it's captivated me. And ever since then I sort of went to do a 9-to-5 job, saved all my week's money, then would hire the studio out one night a week. Yeah, so my whole week was built up for that one night. Okay, so this is a breakbeat I had. It's an old classic breakbeat. I chopped it up into little bits, and here you can see me programming in the drum hits that I've chopped up on my keyboard.
So you don't use a drum machine, you do that on the keyboard?
I do that on the keyboard, yeah. Okay. This was the idea that I had in mind. Like a bit of a kind of old school rave kind of flavour. But I wanted it because you're working with a great singer, I wanted a lot of melody in there.
Yeah, that he can play
so that he could be able to work harmonies with, get a real big chorus.
Yeah.
So I started off with this.
Yeah.
And then pretty much the next thing to get in is the bass line.
When did the day come that you could give up your 9 to 5?
In about 1996, 97, I gave up my 9 to 5. That was quite scary because it was kind of...
Threw the towel in, threw caution to the wind.
Well, what had happened was you get like 20, 21, 22 days a year holiday, and I'd taken all of that for days that I'd be flying away to other countries DJing, and so I'd kind of within about 3 months used my whole year's holiday. And I thought I've got to do it because then it was an American tour came up. Do you want to, travel to America for 3 weeks? And I sort of, there's no way if I'm working, so I chucked the towel in and never looked back.
Now, what was that job?
That job, I was a graphic designer for the council.
You threw the towel in, it worked out all right for you.
Yep.
And you've had some quite big collabos.
Recently, I've had some really big collabs. I was in with Tinchy Stryder, which is pretty cool because he just had #1 with #1.
#1.
That was on the Sunday, and then on Monday we were in the studio together, and I was like, "You're at #1," and he's just walking in with a pizza under his arm, like whatever.
Yeah.
So that was pretty crazy. So we got that first collab happening.
So on the other side, we've got you sort of in the clubs, kind of away from home.
Yeah.
That's where you get practicing on your turntables.
Yeah, I don't do as much practicing as I should do these days, because whenever I'm in here, there's always a deadline or something to do. So I end up kind of just testing that the tracks sound alright. There's no jumps, that they've all recorded alright. Yeah. And that's it. I just pretty much head straight to the clubs now.
We've got the drums, we've got the melody, we've got the bass line.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of other stuff happening.
Yeah.
So what's all that?
All these little things are my little effects that I, little bits and pieces like this, little downfally things that I've made.
Yeah.
And also another thing coming, phasey pad thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and what these do is they just kind of add
a
bit of flavour. Don't really know what they do, but
something.
Yeah.
And were they are they plugins or are they sounds that you've made?
They're sounds I've made years ago. Old sample CDs, chopped up, messed around with. Working with so many different vocalists, it really is a kind of challenge sometimes, because you might have someone like Tinchy who just rolls in relaxed with a couple of his friends and a pizza, or working with someone like Jocelyn Brown, she'd invite you to her house so she could meet you and see what kind of vibe you are, have dinner with you, and then she'd kind of want to work with you after that.
So Jocelyn Brown is quite an old school soul singer, and she's got an amazing co-lungs. But yeah, I was going to say she's very different from the urban artists. So how did that come about?
Through my management, actually, they were actually talking to her about managing her, and they said, we got this. Well, actually, I was like, you were talking to Jocelyn Brown. Well, what about me getting in the studio? And they, oh yeah, cool, right, let's sort it out. So that was it.
What's the worst set DJ gig you've done or been given?
I've done a few bad ones. Did one in Barcelona it's like a super club in Barcelona about 4 years ago. Lovely guy, amazing promoter. The club was so beautifully, had like this section where it was like a beach party in the club. Nobody was there. I could be stuck in the studio for like 7 days a week, I'd be happy.
Yeah?
Yep.
What, so you prefer the studio to getting out and about?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
I think so. I do, I just feel it, I don't know, it feels complete when I'm in the studio. When I'm making music, that's what it's all about.